1. No male star that was born in the 1990s has ever won a world championship on the main roster. The late great Bray Wyatt holds the honor of being the most recently born WWE or Universal Champion, as he was born in 1987. 2. Jey Uso was the first person to pin Roman Reigns on the main roster. This happened on Raw in an 11-on-3 handicap elimination tag team match between Jey Uso's 11-man team and The Shield. 3. Brock Lesnar is the only WWE champion in the last decade to never be in a stable. Just look through all the names. Even the mighty John Cena technically was a member of Nexus for a while and also was part of Crime Time C Nation. And also the likes of Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal were members of the calamitous 3MB. 4. Jeff Hardy has never won a TLC match, even though he helped pioneer the match and has been involved in 5 TLC matches in WWE. 5. Kelly once successfully defended the World Heavyweight Championship. In 2011, Kelly teamed up with the world champion Edge in a 2-on-3 handicap match with the world title on the line. Kelly won the match for her team, thereby officially defending the belt. 6. Comedy jobber James Ellsworth is the only wrestler in WWE to have 3 consecutive victories over AJ Styles, and what makes this even worse is that it was while Styles was WWE champion. 7. MJF has wrestled more matches than Brock Lesnar, despite being almost 20 years younger. 8. Between Ric Flair's first and last match, Trish Stratus was born, debuted, retired once, and then retired again. All of this happened between Ric Flair's first match in 1972 and his last match in 2022. 9. Christian Cage won the NWA World Championship in TNA, the ECW World Championship in WWE, and the Impact World Championship in AEW. 10. Jake the Snake Roberts has never won a title in WWE, despite being in the company for many years and being one of the greatest heels of all time. 11. Seth Rollins has had more successful Raw Women's Championship title defenses than 5-time champion Sasha Banks, now known as Mercedes Moné. At Extreme Rules 2019, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins were both world champions and defended both their belts in a 2-on-2 mixed tag team match against Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin. Technically, Seth Rollins has defended the Raw Women's Championship successfully 1 time, which is more than Sasha Banks, who has 0 successful Raw title defenses. 12. The Miz has a 100% record in WrestleMania main events, as he beat John Cena at WrestleMania 27 in 2011 to retain the WWE World Championship. This is the only WrestleMania main event of The Miz's career. 13. Brock Lesnar makes more in a year than Vince McMahon paid for WCW and ECW combined. Vince paid around $5 million for both WCW and ECW combined, and Brock Lesnar earns about $12 million per year. 14. Jinder Mahal held the WWE Championship longer than Andre the Giant. They each have 1 reign to their name. Jinder Mahal held the championship for 170 days, while Andre the Giant held the title for a few minutes before immediately selling it to the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, causing it to be officially vacated. 15. Sting the musician must pay Sting the wrestler for rights to the name Sting, and the reported amount that he pays to the icon Sting is $1 a year. 16. Dustin Rhodes, formerly known as Goldust, has wrestled in 5 decades. He wrestled in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. 17. The WWE Championship match between Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 19 was the first WrestleMania main event to feature 2 competitors who used their real names. 18. John Laurinaitis has more 5-star matches than Kurt Angle. John Laurinaitis has 2, yet Kurt Angle has 0. 19. The Undertaker's iconic manager, Paul Bearer, was a real-life licensed mortician and funeral director. 20. The Undertaker has defeated every member of Evolution at WrestleMania. He defeated Triple H at WrestleMania 17, Ric Flair at WrestleMania 18, Randy Orton at WrestleMania 31, and Batista at WrestleMania 23. 21. Scott Hall's finisher was called the Razor's Edge, and only 1 person in wrestling history has kicked out of the move, and that person of all people was Crush. 22. Randy Savage had 6 world title reigns, and every single time he lost the championship, it was either to Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair. 23. Stephanie McMahon is the anagram for the Macho Man penis. That means if you rearrange the letters of Stephanie McMahon's name, you get the Macho Man penis. 24. Carlos Colon successfully defended his NWA World Championship against Ric Flair by beating him in a match in the 70s. 30 years later, Ric Flair beat his son, Carlito, for the Intercontinental Championship. 25. Abraham Lincoln is in the Wrestling Hall of Fame and reportedly had a record of 300 victories and 1 loss. Of course, this is mat wrestling, but it's interesting to think that if he were born in this generation, the 6'4" president would have been a great pro wrestler. 26. Terry Funk made his wrestling debut in 1965, the year The Undertaker was born, and only retired in 2017, which is 3 years before The Undertaker retired. 27. When Renee Paquette, formerly known as Renee Young, went to meet Jon Moxley for their first date, she was surprised because he wasn't alone, as Seth Rollins was there too. 28. John Cena is not a Grand Slam champion, seeing that he has never won the Intercontinental Championship. 29. Roxanne Perez is the first WWE superstar to perform on Smackdown that is younger than the show. Smackdown debuted in 1999 and Perez was born in 2001. 30. WCW promoted lower fan attendance numbers than their actual fan attendance numbers. 31. The Rock had breast reduction surgery in 1999 because he had gynecomastia, basically man boobs. This can be as a result of steroids, but it is unclear as to whether steroids were the cause of his gynecomastia. The Rock has since admitted to it, and to conceal the post-surgery scars during the healing process, he started wrestling in a tracksuit for a couple of months while feuding with Mankind in 1999. 32. Vince paid more for silence for his sexual antics than what he paid for WCW and ECW combined. Vince paid close to $15 million combined to several different women for silence, and he only paid around $5 million for WCW and ECW combined. 33. The Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth had been married for 7 years prior to their SummerSlam 91 wedding, but they divorced less than a year after their SummerSlam wedding. 34. Brock Lesnar has never been pinned on Raw. 35. Fabulous Moolah held the Women's Championship for over 10,000 days, which is about 27 years. 36. Bo Dallas held the NXT Championship longer than Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens combined. Bo's reign was 280 days, and Zayn's and Owens' reign combined is 205 days. 37. Out of the 10 matches that The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin had, The Rock only won once, and it was the last match that they had. 38. Tommy Dreamer had serious plans to show up at WrestleMania 17 and kill Paul Heyman, then turn the gun on himself. Jim Ross was the person who talked him out of it. 39. Shawn Michaels' record at WrestleMania is 6 wins and 11 losses, despite him being called Mr. WrestleMania. 40. Triple H has the most losses at WrestleMania with 13 losses on the grandest stage of them all. 41. Liv Morgan has 3 pinfall victories over Ronda Rousey. 42. Shawn Michaels' real name is Michael Shawn Hickenbottom. So if you were to use his real name like many others, he would be called Michael Hickenbottom. Not a very flattering name. 43. Jeff Hardy has won the most different championships in WWE with 11 distinct titles. 44. Shawn Michaels and The Rock have never had a singles match, probably because of the animosity between the two, considering that Shawn Michaels used to bully The Rock in the early days of his WWE career. 45. The last wrestler Bobby the Brain Heenan managed was CM Punk. 46. Batista and R-Truth had their very first wrestling match on the same day, 30th October 1999, but for different wrestling promotions. Batista debuted in WCW and R-Truth debuted in NWA. 47. Jeff Jarrett is a 10-time world champion. 48. Eddie Kingston vs Psycho Sid or Sid Vicious is a wrestling match that actually happened. 49. R-Truth is the first black NWA World's Heavyweight Champion and has more days as the NWA champion than Dusty Rhodes. Truth's combined number of days as champion is 119, while Dusty's is 107. 50. Roderick Strong was in NXT for more time than WCW Nitro ran. Strong was in NXT for a full 6 years, and Nitro ran for 5.5 years. 51. Bryan Danielson is related to John Laurinaitis and Road Warrior Animal. The Bella Twins' mother is married to John Laurinaitis. Road Warrior Animal and John Laurinaitis are blood brothers. Bryan Danielson is married to Brie Bella, so that makes his father-in-law John Laurinaitis and his uncle-in-law Road Warrior Animal. 52. The Undertaker has main evented WrestleMania in 4 different decades, in the 1990s versus Psycho Sid, in the 2000s versus Edge and also versus Batista, in the 2010s versus Shawn Michaels and also versus Roman Reigns, and in the 2020s versus AJ Styles. 53. The Rock's daughter Ava Raine, who is in NXT, is WWE's first ever 4th generation wrestler. 54. Michael Cole has a higher win percentage at WrestleMania than The Undertaker. Michael Cole's WrestleMania win percentage is 100%, while The Undertaker's win percentage is 92%. 55. Rick Rude showed up in WCW and WWF programming on the same night. 56. Charlotte Flair is older than Kelly Kelly. Charlotte was born in 1986 and Kelly was born in 1987. 57. Dave Meltzer gave Lars Sullivan a 5-star match before Bryan Danielson, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles. Lars Sullivan got his 5-star match in 2018 in NXT before all of these superstars. 58. Paul Bearer was the manager for LA Knight once upon a time. Yeah. 59. Scott Hall has never won a world title in a major promotion. 60. Lita was a stripper in Mexico before becoming a wrestler. 61. Rob Van Dam was never the ECW World Champion during the original ECW. 62. In 2000, WWE contracted wrestler Taz beat WCW contracted wrestler Mike Awesome in an ECW ring for the ECW Championship. Now that's the real Forbidden Door. 63. Snoop Dogg has 1 win at WrestleMania while Oscar has 0 wins and 5 losses on the grandest stage of them all. 64. Mr. Perfect beat Brock Lesnar in a match once in 2002. 65. John Cena almost signed for WCW, but a WWE offer for more money swayed him to sign for Vince McMahon in 2001. 66. Mr. Perfect's last match in WWE was the same day they changed from WWF to WWE. WWE got the F out on May 6, 2002, and that was the day of Mr. Perfect's last match for the promotion. 67. Rowdy Roddy Piper has never competed at SummerSlam, but Heath Slater main evented one in 2010. 68. Brock Lesnar, the Great Khali, and Sergeant Slaughter are the only wrestlers who only held world championships in their time in WWE. 69. Vince McMahon technically has won more world championships than Eddie Guerrero, as Vince is a 2-time world champion and Eddie Guerrero is a 1-time world champion. 70. Legendary wrestler and pioneer Vern Gagne, while 82 years old and battling Alzheimer's disease, which is a form of dementia, body slammed a 97-year-old patient at a suburban nursing home where they both lived, causing the 97-year-old man's death. Vern Gagne was not criminally charged after being deemed to not have the capacity to be criminally culpable considering his dementia. 71. Donald Trump is the only WWE Hall of Famer to become the President of the United States. 72. Scott Hall has never wrestled in a Royal Rumble match, but the fake Razor Ramon did. 73. Kurt Angle's original WWE run was shorter than his TNA run. Kurt's first time tenure in WWE was 8 years and his tenure in TNA was 10 years. 74. The Hurricane holds a clean victory over AJ Styles. This match happened in 2002. 75. The Undertaker's first loss in WWE was to Tito Santana. 76. Ricky Steamboat has the longest gap between wrestling and WrestleMania at 21 years. He wrestled at WrestleMania 4 in 1988 and didn't wrestle at Mania again until WrestleMania 25 in 2009. 77. The rip-off version of Goldberg, Gilbert, had a 448-day reign as WWF Light Heavyweight Champion, and it is the longest reign of any championship for the WWE in the 90s. In fact, no other singles championship in the company would exceed this until Asuka's NXT Women's Championship reign some 17 years later. 78. WWE owns John Cena's name as a registered trademark, so they earn a cut of money every time he uses his name for commercial purposes outside of WWE. 79. David Arquette has as many world title reigns as Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with 1 apiece. 80. Batista was already married 2 times and had 2 children before pursuing pro wrestling. He also had grandchildren before he was even 40. 81. Kurt Angle actually got a concussion in a match where he was scripted to get a concussion. 82. Stone Cold Steve Austin's debut match in WWE was against Matt Hardy in 1995. 83. Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza have the exact same first and second names, with both their legal first and second names being Humberto Garza, but with different surnames. They are also cousins. 84. Frankie Kazarian was undefeated in WWE during his 6-month stint in the company. 85. Only one person in wrestling history has kicked out of Santino Marella's iconic finisher, the Cobra, and that person was Bryan Danielson. 86. Snooki from the popular reality TV show Jersey Shore has a better WrestleMania record than Goldust. She has 1 WrestleMania win, and Dustin Rhodes has 0 wins and 7 losses. 87. The first women's Money in the Bank match in 2017 was won by a man, James Ellsworth. 88. After Ric Flair was involved in a plane crash in 1975, he was in the hospital, and he was visited by a wrestler he was feuding with at the time, Wahoo McDaniel. Police were then called by the hospital staff because they thought that McDaniel was there to hurt Flair. Kayfabe was surely alive back then. 89. In 1984, Ron Simmons and Lex Luger were teammates in the original United States Football League while playing for the Tampa Bay Bandits. 90. AJ Styles is taller than legendary wrestler Bruno Sammartino. Styles is cited as 180 centimeters and Sammartino as 178 centimeters. 91. Bruno Sammartino held the WWE Championship for 13% of his life. He held the title for a combined total of 4,040 days, which equals to 11 years as WWE Champion. 92. Baron Corbin has the most protected finisher in WWE history. The End of Days debuted in 2014, and it took 8 years for someone to kick out of it, being Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 38. 93. Jerry the King Lawler has won 132 titles throughout his career. 94. The Shield all held the WWE Championship on the same night. Going into Money in the Bank 2016, Roman Reigns was the WWE Champion, and Seth Rollins beat him for the title. Just when Rollins was celebrating with the title, Dean Ambrose successfully cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase and won the championship. 95. Edge was involved in some capacity in the first 6 Money in the Bank cash-ins. 96. Randy Orton once used This Fire Burns as his entrance music, but it was given to CM Punk because it fit him better. 97. Scott Steiner wrestled on the first WWE Raw in 1993 and on the final WCW Nitro in 2001. 98. Kerry Von Erich wrestled in WWE and won the Intercontinental Championship while wrestling with one prosthetic leg, and no one in WWE knew that his leg had been amputated. 99. Sasha Banks is the first wrestler born in the 1990s to main event at WrestleMania. 100. Andre the Giant would often have to poop in bathtubs because hotel toilets were too small. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other videos. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. But anyway, goodbye.